much awaited by Mr. Mohit Maheshwari, co-founder and director at NMG Technologies. NMG Technologies, you can reach them at nmgtechnologies.com, a 12-year-old web, software, and mobile development company that helps business build valuable technology solutions. He brings them with him over 18 years of experience in the technology industry and specializes in setting up offshore operations and development and digital marketing teams for business and agencies in US, UK, Australia, and I can go on and on with his introduction. So here, let's welcome him. Mr. Maheshwari, welcome on the Vidyadaan portal with Creative Warriors online program.
Hi Pooja, how are you doing?
We're doing good, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Okay, great, sir. So I think all my students are really excited for this session and we are waiting to learn from you.
Cool. So I have got a presentation made. Can you just give me the screen sharing?
Sure, you have the right, sir.
Okay. So guys,
so it's all over to you. And guys, you can have your questions asked in the Q&A section. You can chat with sir in the chat section. He'll be asking you questions. We'll be really happy to see you as an interactive audience.
Yes.
And on my platform, any questions coming, I'll let you know.
Is my screen visible to you, Pooja?
Yes. Yes.
Cool. So welcome everybody. This is a session on digital marketing strategies for SMBs and startups. A quick, intro on this session and about me. So I've been in this space for about 21 odd years. I run NMG Technologies, which is a full service web development, mobile app development, digital marketing agencies. Primarily, we work with clients internationally, mostly in US and MENA region. We have offices in Chicago, Nigeria, India, and some of the digital marketing campaigns that we have worked on include election fundraising for the president of Nigeria, working with Mayor of London for their agency London and Partners, for an India business outreach and awards program, working with New York Times bestselling author Ron Kaufman and his consulting firm Up Your Service. And then we have done a major social media marketing led book launch for Penguin India for their book She Walks, She Leads, and worked with Oxfam India, which is a leading nonprofit, on raising donations for girl child education. And then worked with enterprise clients like Godfrey Phillips, Bacardi, Nikon, G Money, Citibank, Yahoo, amongst others. I'm a proud dad. My son is about 5 years old, and I love listening to electronic music and traveling to music festivals. So some pointers for today's webinar. The webinar is being recorded and will be available on our YouTube and blog, and it will also be available on Vidyadaan's YouTube. I think they are also streaming it on YouTube. The recording will be available in 2-3 days. Slide decks will be uploaded on our SlideShare. For project discussions, our email is hello@nmgtechnologies, and for internships and jobs, you can email hr@nmgtechnologies.com. If you have any questions related to any slides in the presentation, we will do a Q&A at the end, and you can feel free to ask those questions. Let's get started. Digital marketing actionable strategies. So the idea for today's presentation is to give you a framework and really have the mindset in the right place when we think about digital and our businesses and outreaching and basically promoting them. So what are the challenges for SMBs and startups? We need to focus on our core business. Product lines are evolving. A small company goes through a lot of churn and idea generation and pivoting. Senior management time and founders time is very limited for approvals. Website and digital marketing is never a priority because we are focusing on business and growing our business. And marketing strategy is not evolved. We really don't know, where to start and where to end and what's the priority order. And then we have limited budgets. I'm going to give you a framework which is almost like a foolproof evergreen framework, So no matter whether it is today or after 3-4 years, if you just work on some items which I mentioned in this presentation, your marketing will succeed. So what's the roadmap? So the roadmap is, it's like a blueprint on where we start and where we end. So we will cover today customer persona, how to build it, why is it important, research and planning, how to do your competitor research. I will give you a lot of checklists, so the slide share that I share, you can actually take a copy of that, print it out, and use it for businesses, or as a lot of you are students, for your learning. So researching and planning, how to do competitor research, keyword research, sitemap, how to create a data-driven sitemap, wireframes, content briefs, how to actually tell the content writer what to write for your website, how to build platforms like website, Google My Business, how to actually collect customer testimonials, how to really set up Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, or any of these content strategies. So more than going into how to setting up these social media channels, I'll give you a framework on how to think about these. So what is the framework? Content strategies and production, how to think like a magazine business owner. I'll be spending a lot of time on this framework. How to think about blogging, social media content, and other content formats. And then I will give you some tried and tested over the last 20 years strategies that I've been using for my business and my clients. And basically, these are evergreen strategies, no matter which platform we are talking about, maybe Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, or blogging or website. These strategies work in the real world. So let's get started. So let's start with the very, very basic, which we actually don't spend a lot of time on. I've not seen any small, medium business owner or a startup spend a time on customer persona. So what's customer persona? So our customer persona is a semi-fictional representation of our ideal customer base based on market research and real data about our existing customers. The persona provides us structure and context for the company, making it easier to map out content strategies, allocate your team's times and resources, or if you have an agency, allocate their time and achieve alignment across your organization. It's a very critical piece to establish for your business. And how should you use a persona? So once you create your customer persona, you will learn about your ideal customer. What are their challenges? What are their goals? Demographic. And it will help you set a strategy aimed at attracting the most valuable visitors, leads, and customers to your business through social media, through websites, through your mobile apps, wherever. So what's a customer persona? A customer persona, as we said, it's a fictional character, semi-fictional character, which is based on your business. So what are their personal informations? Is it a her, a he, a she, or is it both? Is it a kid? Is it a working mother? Is it a unmarried woman? Is it a guy in his 40s or 50s, or a guy in his early 20s? Is he working? Is she a housewife? What's their bio? What are their goals in life? What are their expectations? What are their frustration points? What are their questions they ask vis-a-vis your product? What are their influencers? Where do they go to learn, read? So during this presentation, I will be giving a lot of tools at the bottom of this slide, which you can actually click and you can actually go and use these free tools. All these tools are free tools which you can use and use it for your business to create, in this case, your customer persona. So this is HubSpot Make My Persona tool. Now, I just also wanted to give you some examples of customer persona from real world companies. So we all know Office 365, which is the Microsoft product. It's a cloud-based product, and it helps organizations work with the Office 365 products like Microsoft Word, email, OneDrive, PowerPoint, Word, and so on and so forth. So there could be a cost saver, which is an IT decision maker. There could be a Google competitor. They're using Google products, and now they want to migrate to Microsoft products. There could be a task worker, or somebody could be in a legacy environment, a dated environment, or somebody could be looking to actually transform their business. So Microsoft, for their Office 365, has these 5 customer personas laid out clearly in front of their marketing team, and how do they think about tackling that customer. So let me just give you a more simpler example. Let's say you are a movers and packers business, and you are in the business of actually moving offices and moving residences. So you could be actually moving a piano, you could be actually moving an antique or a specialty item, you could be actually moving seniors, elderly people from their homes to a new home. You could be doing local or long distance residential moving. So somebody could be moving from New Delhi to Bangalore, somebody could be moving locally from Noida to Gurgaon, and then you could be actually moving companies and businesses, when they're shifting offices and doing packing for them. So each of these customers will be thinking about your business, and their frustrations and pain points will be different. Somebody who's moving a piano, and thinking about your service will be very, very different from somebody who's actually moving an office. And when you go here and you plan your customer persona, you have to be very, very pointed in terms of what you want to achieve and what your fictional character or semi-fictional character thinks about related to their life and your service. So once we have the customer persona built out for our company, and I can go on and on about this, but you will actually need to interview 20 people who are your potential customers to be able to build your customer persona. And this customer persona will actually drive your marketing. And this tool is a very good tool in order to build for free your customer persona. Now, once you have built your customer persona, then you need to build your digital marketing, and you need to build your online presence, which is your social media, your Google My Business, your websites, how to go about it. And some of these things will seem very, very advanced, but if you actually follow the drill which I've laid out in this presentation, and you practice it, you will find it actually not that tough. In fact, it's very exciting, and it will make you more aware about your business. So let's start with the website. Website architecture, research, and planning. Now, usually how websites, a small business, in our case, a movers and packers business, the example that we are taking, how do they usually go about building a website? So websites are usually made by opinions or committees, so the owner or founder, shares with his partner that we need a website. They hunt for an agency, a website designer. They discuss requirements, check some competitor websites. They make a sitemap on pen and paper, and they finalize a proposal, negotiate, and the project starts. The website is launched, and then they start thinking about digital marketing, SEO, social media, and all of these things. So actually, marketing is an afterthought rather than it being a collective part of the entire journey of building a platform. And now what I'm talking about is an approach which is a data-driven website and a data-driven approach towards your marketing. So in this case, the owner, founder, director, he creates a need. He appoints an agency or has somebody who's taking care of their marketing. Even in a small business, sometimes partners are sharing those roles. And then they appoint an agency based on data-centric approach of architecting websites and marketing solutions. They look at strategic competitors. They map all the data points of these competitors. They do a detailed master keyword research. They create a data-driven sitemap. They create a data-driven content brief, a wireframe, and then they actually look at their buyer persona, their customer journey, and create those wireframes basis that. And then they actually do the website development, integrate SEO components on the website, and then they do the launch, pre-launch, post-launch, and do social media and email marketing activities. However, what they do, it's an inclusive process. Now, what does that process looks like? So this is a tool I highly recommend. Use a project management tool for all your marketing. So you can actually use, this is a free tool called Trello. So you can actually take your marketing from month 1 to month 2 to month 3 to month 4 and onwards, and you can see progress, and you can have all your login details, everything compiled, so with your agency or even your internal marketing team, use a project management tool. So let's talk about data-driven competitor analysis. Now, I will not go through the entire checklist, which is mentioned here. This you can take from my slides, but basically we are mapping each and every point regarding our competitor's website into almost like a 100-point checklist. And then using that data to inform us how to go about our project. The same can be done for social media. The same can be done for email marketing. The same can be done for any form of marketing. Now, how do you do keyword research? So these are some tools which help us doing keyword research. SEMrush, Ahrefs, Google Auto Suggest, which is what pops up when I say residential moving in our case, or Google related searches for movers near me, local moving companies, or Google people also ask, how much do moving services actually cost? And then it gives you an answer. And these you can pop up and see the answers. And then there are other tools like Answer the Public. This is actually one of my most favorite tool. I'll show you what this tool does. So I typed in this tool, movers and packers, and it actually gave me a word cloud. What, when, can, why, how, which, where, will, who. Now, all these common questions, it automatically populates for me, a list of destinations. So movers and packers, Ahmedabad, movers and packers, Abu Dhabi, which is location. Then it gives me questions. So we actually did a project for a client who's a movers and packers business. And once we collected data from all these sources, Answer the Public, people also ask, related searches, auto suggest, we actually compiled all these keywords and we actually segregated them, and it actually gave us location and it gave us customer persona and services that we can target. So in our case, packing, office movers, residential movers, senior movers, piano movers, which is the example I quoted earlier. And then you have locations. So Sunshine Movers, Florida, Piano Movers, Florida, movers in Florida, Sarasota Movers, which is a city there, high rated long distance movers, and it actually gave me location centric and my service centric keywords, which I grouped. And basis this grouping, we actually create a sitemap. So now you are actually telling the data which is coming from here, create your sitemap. Now imagine what is this sitemap. You have the home page, you have the about us, you have moving services, residential moving, commercial moving, home staging, professional. You have area service, which is coming from here, from the location. And then you have resources, FAQs, packing tips, average moving. And I'll talk to you about how to create these resources, how to create blogs, how to write social media content. And I'll give you a framework on how to think about this. So now we are letting the data actually guide us rather than going by this opinion based or committee based or asking friends, asking family, based approach to our marketing. So once we have the sitemap, these are some free tools that you can actually use to create wireframes. Why are wireframes important? So alignment of designers, content writers, SEO, stakeholders, like the founders, CEOs. Once you have a wireframe, it actually tells you how the project will be moving. So there are no surprises. So we collected the data here. We created the wireframe through these free tools. And now, so all these sections, we create a wireframe for them. So now we actually have now a blueprint where the data is actually making our website. So once we have these wireframes, we can actually use some of these tools like SEMrush, Writing Assistant, Grammarly, and actually write content writing briefs, basis which our content writer can write the content. So now we are actually building our website and we are also building our SEO. We are ranking in Google as we move along instead of it being an afterthought. So website design, so once we have written the content and we have the wireframes, which we give to the designer, we have the sitemap, we have our keywords, which are grouped on which our content is being written. Now, how do you actually go and communicate website design? So usually what happens is when we actually go and look at our competitors, they don't have great looking websites. And we say just because they don't have great looking websites, it's actually, we can actually avoid great looking websites. Do not do that. We need to have great looking websites. We need to immerse them with video. So our brand storytelling can also happen parallelly. So this is a couple of examples of websites that we have made, in which we have incorporated brand storytelling, from the get-go. So this is Evolution Metals. They are into metals mining, and I'm just popping their website up. One sec. So if you'll see, this is a website done by NMG, so they are delivering critical minerals. So we have 3 videos which actually are giving immersive storytelling to a mining company. Imagine, metallurgy and mining is such a boring business. But if you have video, you can actually communicate what you do. This is their mining area in a very immersive way. This is their process. And then we talk about us, leadership team, products, and the regular things which come in a website. But just because we invested the time and energy taking these drone shots of their facility and doing all of that, it actually gives immersive storytelling. This is a film production company, Brahma Films. They basically do video production, and we use video, which is actually their product, at the center of their website. So I highly encourage people to use videos and to drive the storytelling about their brand and about their company, and use it at the center of your website. Even if you don't have professional videos, that's not a problem. Even if it is just done through a local freelancer or somebody, just do it, because it actually impacts on the way your website is. And you can use this for your social media, for any forms of other marketing. So it's an asset to your company. I also recommend using Envision App, which you can help give your design a pixel by pixel feedback. So usually we give our designers, we are all working from homes, and we actually do phone calls and a lot of video calls and screen share. This kind of a tool, we work with a lot of clients in USA and internationally. So this kind of tools, actually you can give pixel by pixel feedback. So our clients can give us feedback and we can basically communicate with them at the pixel level. So a very important tool to be used in communicating your thoughts with your designer. This is a checklist that you can refer later for on page. So once you have your content and your website pages up, you can refer to this list and basically do a hygiene check on your website. And any person or agency that you hire or any freelancer that you hire, they need to ensure that all of these are, even if you have an in-house guy, all these points are taken care of on the SEO level. And this is a checklist that I've given you. You can just copy and paste and print it out and use it. And then this is a pre-launch checklist. This is a post-launch checklist. I'm not going to go about all the technical points, but these are just checklists for you, which we are giving out for free for you to use. Then once your website is done, how do you do a pre-launch, of your social media channels, your website? And these are some popular strategies that we have given examples. You can create a hashtag for social media. You can have coming soon pages and teaser video introductions. You can incentivize early signups, and you can see never before or never ever after deals to your initial customers. You can integrate signups and these deals with your Facebook, Twitter, and social signups. You can onboard a few influencers and incentivize word of mouth referrals. What are they? So let's look at some examples. This is pre-launch exclusivity. So this is Superhuman, which is an email client. And when they were launching, they said the fastest email experience ever made, request access. So now you're doing exclusivity. So you are saying, if you want to be one of my first customers, you will have to get on my list. Never ever pricing. So pre-launch price of a grooming kit. Friends and family referrals. So this is a shaving company in US. Invite friends and earn product. So this is a very cool, queue they did, where you can invite your friends and earn a free product. So these are some ideas which I want you to think about when you're launching your company or product or service, or when you are engaging with your customers. This is a sold out before launch. So you're actually driving FOMO, which is fear of missing out, that, oh, this product launched and they are actually sold out. So consistently saying that you are a finite product or service drives more adoption, right? So this is a good example that I found, of driving that. And then Pre-orders available now. So if you're launching a product, pre-order discounts and getting on a mailing list are a good ideas and suggestions. Google My Business. This is a checklist on setting up your Google My Business page. It's very, very important for local businesses. So if you you're a chartered accountancy firm, or you're a lawyer, or you are a dentist, or you're a doctor, then you are a local business or a retailer. You need to set up your Google local business page and encourage your customers to give you reviews and have your opening hours. You need to have your business profile. You need to set it up properly so that you have a chance to rank in the Google 6-pack or 7-pack as well. This is a checklist that you can just copy paste and use for your business, for Google My Business. Customer testimonials. So this is a tool called boast.io. I've been recommending it to my customers, I think, for like 10 or 15 years. Basically, what it does is you can do an autopilot or automatic follow-up of video testimonials from your customers. So they will be able to download this on their mobile. They will be able to record a testimonial, and it automatically goes to your social media channels and your YouTube. And you can just have preset templates, and basically gathering video testimonials for your website, social media accounts, or anywhere becomes very, very easy. So this I highly encourage, like the video example I gave of corporate video, which does your brand storytelling. Here, your customers are doing storytelling for you, and this is very, very important in terms of ensuring, one second, in terms of ensuring that they speak about your brand and your business. Let me just shut off my office colleagues. Yeah. So I highly encourage you to have this, set up and run. Blogging and social media content strategy framework. So this is the most exciting part now, wherein now we have the customer persona, we have a website, we have, our client testimonials, we have our corporate video. Then now we are going and we are actually talking about our business. So this is a framework I want you to think about. I want you to actually take a screenshot or a printout of this, and I want you to paste this in front of you or your office. And I want you to start thinking like a magazine business owner. So we have all heard about these magazines: Vogue, Empire, GQ, Time, and then we have Hairstyle and Only. Now, Vogue, Marie Claire, what do these magazines have in common? Or what do they have which is not common? Let's see. What does a magazine has? It has scheduled distribution. It adheres to deadlines. There is a note from the editor. So you are the editor, or you, the CEO, are the editor of your magazine. It has a structured table of content. It has dedicated writers or guest writers who write on the topics. It gives latest news about the industry and happenings. It also interviews people. It invites guest columnists, like Vidyadaan has invited me to give you this webinar. It has insightful coverage. It does surveys. It publishes annual report. It does rankings. It does awards. It has letters to the editor. And then it also has fun sections which are relevant to your audience. So remember the buyer persona that we made earlier? If you combine that buyer persona and you start thinking about your business like a magazine business owner, you have all the social media strategies, all the content strategies your business needs to be ahead of anybody else. Now, I know it sounds like a lot of work, but it's actually a framework which needs to be practiced. Okay. Now I'll show you how you can practice this as well. I have given, from my experience later on in the presentation, some ideas on how this thinking you can adopt from your business. Okay. So become the magazine of your niche or your industry, and, use it for your social media and your blogs. That's what I say to all my customers. Content formats. Now, this is like a side note. Don't just think about content as images or audio or video. It could be documents, it could be GIF files or animated tutorials, it could be photos, it could be social streams, it could be user generated content. Like Vidyadaan gets this webinar and they can use this content for marketing their company, or use it, to invite more lecturers to talk to their students. Always invest in quality to give value to your users. So I'm not encouraging you to do a lot of work. Even though I'm giving you a lot of ideas, I don't want you to follow all of these ideas. I want you to select 2 or 3 ideas for your business and basically invest with good photography, good videos, and good content writing. Okay. So high impact marketing strategies. Let's look at some high impact. Now, these strategies which I'm talking to you about, they are evergreen. They will never, ever, 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 ever change over the next 10 years, 20 years. And if you start practicing them, they will help your business. These are not just digital strategies. They use digital medium in order to promote your business, but they are not purely digital strategies. So this is a list. Let's look at these strategies. So, by the way, I got invited from a major conference, which is one of the leading e-commerce conference in Chicago, to speak. I went there in 2019. This is me talking in that conference. So you will see me, I'm talking at this conference. And how did I get invited to this conference? I wrote, so I'll just tell you the steps. I actually went on their website. I saw all the content everybody else is writing for them. I wrote an article for them. I pitched it to them. It was a research article, did my investment. And their editor liked that article so much. They actually wrote an email to me. This is my article. They wrote an email to me inviting me to come to Chicago, paid for my expenses, travel, accommodation, lodging. And I was actually a speaker at one of the largest e-commerce conferences. So I actually used evergreen marketing. In your industry, you can take a cue from me and you can actually find out what are the events which happen in your industry. Can you write an article for them? Write an article which is better than what they have ever published, and you will get invited in all those events. Once you get invited to 2 events, you will get invited to 10 events. And once you're a speaker, you're automatically an influencer, and your social media following, your clients and customers, that you meet at these conferences. And I know, it talks about, okay, we are in COVID, where are the conferences happening? Mind you, this is more easier now. Why is it easier? Because everything is happening online. So all you need to do is sit at your work desk, write an article for somebody which is good and is insightful, and they will invite you to their webinar, like Vidyadaan has invited me. So it's actually more easier now. Being interviewed or helping a journalist. So when you go through all these newspapers, you actually get, these email IDs of all these journalists which are written. And you can actually start engaging with these journalists on Twitter, and you can start engaging with these journalists, using these commands I've given you on Google. And you can create your own list of journalists which are covering your industry. And you can start giving them valuable insights. And you will see after 3 or 4 engagements, they will actually invite you to and interview you for their newspaper. The Economic Times invited me. I did not pay them. They invited me. This is 3-4 years back, 5 years back. And I got interviewed by them. I used the same approach. And then some other magazines invited me to speak with them. The same approach I've been using in my business. Now, this example, might be a little shocking to you guys. Don't get scared. But this example is like the biggest example in my career I've seen. So a friend of mine, she actually wrote a book. The book name was She Walks, She Leads. It is published by Penguin. And Shah Rukh Khan actually did a launch for this book. So Shah Rukh Khan is the leading actor in India in Bollywood, and he has a major fan following. And what she did is she actually, through her network, and she's from a highly networked, she's highly networked, and she also approached these uh, top female achievers, and she crowdsourced the book. So she interviewed Neeta Ambani, Priyanka Chopra, Mary Kom, Indra Nooyi, Sania Mirza, Tina Ambani, Saina Nehwal, and she actually published their interviews. And guess what? Penguin published it as a book, and the book was launched. Now, I'm not saying you go, this is like a life's work, 5-6 years of work. I'm not saying you do all of this as a small, medium business owner, but we can actually at least start with an ebook. We can interview people in our industry, compile an ebook, and they will then talk about it on their social media channels. They will actually talk about it on their Twitter, and you will gain, and a mileage in your business. So just something to think about. Or you can build a tool. So if you want to build a tool, these are some commands that you can actually go and type in Google. It will give you tools for your industry. And like Axis Bank has these loan calculators and calorie calculator, I highly suggest on your social media, on your Facebook or website, have tools which actually help your customers. And these tools, you can find free tools or maybe paid tools for $10, $20, $25 online. And you can just plaster your logo and use these tools for your business. And you'll be surprised how much SEO benefit and marketing benefit you get from these tools if used well. You can create infographics for your industry. Hire a designer or a graphic designer and make them do these beautiful infographics. These are some tools that we have given, and they can use it. You can do industry roundups on your blog. So we actually worked with a Macau-based organic tea company, and we actually created, they were a startup, and we actually created a whole list of the top 10 organic tea brands in 2013, and we started rating them who are the biggest on Twitter. And we were a nobody, and we were actually ranking and rating other companies in our industry. But guess what happened? They all started interacting with us. We all started interviewing them on our blog post, and we became a known entity. That client, that organic tea company, became a known entity in their industry through these endeavors. So it's called ego bait. So you are basically interviewing somebody and a lot of influencers, and you are giving them awards, or creating a list of industry influencers and becoming a champion. So it all goes down to thinking like a magazine business owner. This is if you really think about what a magazine does. It invites people on their magazine and makes them talk about them. So they get free content, but they also get known, right? So it works both ways. Live blogging. So this is COVID last year, April, or June. And Collision is one of the biggest conferences in the technology space. We actually did a live blogging and live tweeting of that event from our homes. And this is Paddy. He's the founder of Collision. He actually came and chatted with me because he liked the work that we were doing in Twitter and promoting their show. So let me show you what we did. Let me just show you. So this is our Twitter. So we actually did a house party wherein we actually watched the entire conference, and we were doing live tweeting of this conference on our Twitter handle. And this is, a conference which was based in Ireland, and they were promoting Toronto, and we were just covering this conference. So this is just like one example, on how you can actually just talk, and become influencer sitting at your home if you do the right strategy. You can run giveaways, so some tools like Rafflecopter, Follower Wonk, you can have some influencers or micro influencers promote your giveaways. Usually they charge money, or they take a free product. But if you have like 10-15 influencers doing giveaways with you, with the right tools and the right strategies, it actually works well. So Follower Wonk is a tool to find your influencers, and Rafflecopter is a tool to run the giveaway on your website and integrate social media, email capture, and basically work in a systematic manner. You can have a monthly newsletter to build your email list, and you can give some discounts on your to people subscribe to your email list. Remember, your email is your private social network. So imagine having your private Facebook, or imagine having your private LinkedIn, and your email newsletter is actually a great way for you to communicate with your audience as a magazine business owner. Okay, so invest in email. And there's a very cool tool I've not mentioned in my PPT. It's called Substack. So substack.com, you can actually run your email newsletter, and they will actually pay you for running your email newsletter. So you will get paid to actually build an audience. Okay, so you can start a publication here, and you can actually even have a paid account with them, and you can actually earn money from people if they find value in your newsletter. So Quora marketing, so you can actually go on Quora and you can answer all these sorts of questions. We did this for Oxfam, which is a non-profit raising funds for girl child education. And just give me one sec. Yeah, you can use actually Quora for answering all these questions. So you can actually go to Quora, find out all the questions which are related to your business, and see which has the maximum views, and start answering these questions. Where will you get these questions from? Remember the keyword research and the answer the public that we did earlier. Just keep typing those questions, and you can answer them, and you can create a lot of traffic for your business from Quora for free. This is what we generated, in 1 month. You can do brand mentions, or basically writing, for other publications. And then you can, this is a little technical, I think, I'll just skip this, but you can actually, write a lot of articles. And if they don't mention you or your brand, you can actually reach out to them and say, give us a link, from there. This is one of the key strategies that I highly encourage. So this is NMG's booth at the Thai conference in Delhi in Taj Mahal Palace Hotel. We got this booth for free. How did we get this booth for free? We actually did a barter with them, and we made their website, at a discount. So I got their booth for free. So you can go to all of these events in your company and get these booths. And now a lot of these events are happening virtually. You can actually get tons and tons and tons of freebies if you just engage and do a barter of services with them. Okay, the same we did with London and Partners. Then you can also do webinars. You can co-host webinars, do joint webinars, do joint podcasts. So this is a webinar that I've done with an influencer in Los Angeles, the Raisin brand, on how to stand out online if you're broke. So I gave her strategies on, her audience strategies on how you can do marketing for free. So, and then you can actually transcribe these podcasts into text, and you have a blog post. You can actually have snippets, run it on your social media. You have social media content. So you can repurpose a lot of that content and use it for your social media. This is again a strategy that we used at Collision last year, going live and covering events. So now all the events are happening virtually. You can have a TV or a screen at your background. You can actually cover these events, go on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, YouTube Live, and you can actually talk about these events. And before you know, these event producers or owners will actually invite you as speakers. They will want to engage with you, and they will actually make you an influencer in your industry. We used a tool called restream.io for actually doing a live stream of my coverage of Collision Conference across, I think, 20 channels. We did it. We went live simultaneously across 20 channels. So Vidyadaan, you are doing YouTube live. If you use this platform, you can actually go live in 10, 20 channels like Facebook, Twitch, Periscope, YouTube, LinkedIn. You can do all of that. Social selling. So use LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and you can actually outreach directly to your customers using a sequence of communication, and we did it for tobacco companies, cigarette companies, timber trading companies, exporters. software technology companies and generated tons and tons of leads for our business using social selling. So these were some evergreen strategies. They will never, never, never go out of fashion. And all you need to do is practice them and basically just use them. Thank you. So I think, Pooja, I'm done. Any question and answers you have, I am happy to take them.
Yes, sure. I'm checking this channel, and here I see the excitement in the chat window. People are excited, and they are sending responses. So you also wanted to make it interactive. Let's have something for the students. Although I'll take the question. Piyush Mukherjee, can you provide the meaning of testimonials?
So Piyush, testimonials are nothing but your customer is actually doing a praise for you. So they are saying, I use your product or your service and I really, really liked it. And then basically they are saying, I will recommend it to other people. And you can use that video testimonial on your website, on your social media, and actually, use it to your marketing advantage. It could be a textual or video. If it's video, even better. And I've given a tool where you can capture that video testimonial. Yeah. Any other question?
Right. Yes. Where from where we can make good websites?
So, a lot of websites can be made for free using these free platforms like Squarespace and Wix. So you can actually learn those tools, make websites for free, or you can hire an agency like mine and build a website. If you're a startup, I will not encourage, hiring agencies, but if you are a small, medium business, I will encourage you to have your website strategy in place. Yeah.
Okay, great. And now talking about strategy, the question is about the strategy, how to allocate budgets for influencer marketing.
Okay. So first of all, I will recommend, get to a level where you don't have to actually give somebody a budget, to, do influencer marketing. But I do understand some very, very prominent influencers, give mileage and you have to allocate budget. I would say it comes down to ROI, try it once, do it as an experiment, see the ROI, try to measure that ROI directly towards your business objectives. If the ROI works out for you, good, keep on doing it. If there is no ROI, don't do an influencer campaign. So you have to measure the ROI of what an influencer actually brings to you, on the table. A lot of times you will find these so-called big influencers, they don't bring that ROI. However, micro influencers, which are actually in niche, they can bring you much better ROI. So I mean, that's my take on it. Measure ROI.
Okay, so the other question is about ROI only. The saying
Yes.
how to calculate ROI on influencer marketing.
So how do you calculate ROI on your marketing? First, that's the question, So, I mean, if you do even like $100 of spend, or I think in dollars, because I work with international. So if you do $1,000 of spend, how do you ensure that you get $10,000 in return? So once you have that metric, whether it is leads, whether it is sales, whether they are bringing you new customers, what are they bringing to you, and then you can have tracking tools to be in place. You can have a simple Google sheet, or you can have sophisticated tools. I've given a lot of tools. I've not given an ROI measuring tool for influencer campaigns. I can give that tool also in my slide share, and people can refer to that tool. But even a simple spreadsheet can help you measure. I spent $100 with this influencer. What did he bring to the table? Did he get me traffic? If he got you 1,000 visitors at traffic, divide that $100 with 1,000. That's your metric. Is that good enough for your business? If he got you sales, divide that sales with the money that you spend, and then see if that makes sense for your business.
Okay, wonderful. Similar question is here that I can see. It's from Polomi Banerjee. All these startups needs a huge principal amount. That is the budget is needed. What if somebody wants to do a startup for free?
So I don't know what the question is, because I don't know what a startup for free means. I think what she's asking is, How do you do marketing for your startup for free? I think that's
I think what she's asking is to get into the business where you can start earning without investment on the social platform, social media platform or something.
I mean, if you want to start that kind of a business, then you actually have to focus on writing good content, writing great, insightful things which nobody else is doing. So what a lot of people are doing is, if somebody is doing X, I have to do X. If somebody is doing A, I have to do A. You have to actually see what nobody else is doing. And if you saw my example, I actually went to that internet retailer website. I saw what everybody is writing about. I wrote about a topic which is out of stock, which is like the most boring topic, but they wanted that topic. And that's why they invited me all the way to Chicago, because I wrote on a very, a topic which nobody was talking about. So you have to look at those niches, when you are targeting, or looking at zero investment. So, then it means investment of time. There's nothing as zero investment. There's always investment of time.
Right. There is always investment of time. Yes. And time is precious.
Yeah. Yes.
So, any other questions from anyone? I'm here to take your questions. There is something has come, creating awareness of startup that does not have good number of followers on social media. Does that, can that
I
be
actually
something
gave
new?
them all these strategies I've given. They are zero cost strategies. Zero cost. You don't need big agencies like me, or you don't need, very expensive professionals. All these strategies, are actually free strategies, that you can use. Very little money, but they require time investment.
Time is investment is there.
Yeah,
Yes.
they require time investment, and you need to have the right mindset, and you need to be willing to do the hard work. So I mean, that is what is. I mean, I'm talking about social selling. LinkedIn Sales Navigator requires time. Talking about writing content for events, that requires time. Doing webinars, I'm spending 1 hour with you, so I'm actually giving you time, right? So everything, this presentation took me like 2 hours to make. So everything requires time, when you're looking at free marketing. There's nothing called as free marketing.
Samiksha Sawant has sent a question. Sir, can you share this PPT?
Yeah, so I said this PPT will be shared on my SlideShare. I actually also gave the link of my SlideShare at the start, and then I mean, you can also send these people the link to the SlideShare. Okay, you can put it on your social media.
Yeah, sure, we can do that. We can do that.
So all these checklists which I have given, by the way, guys, all the checklists I've given to you, all the tools I've given to you, checklists are free. You can just take a printout, and all the tools, most of them have like a free version. So, I mean, they will cost zero money.
Wonderful. So with this, I think we must say thank you to Mr. Maheshwari for spending his time and sharing such precious information. Thank you so much, Mr. Maheshwari, for your time and your information that you have shared. And special thanks for the link that you're going to share for the candidates to take the presentation.
No worries, no worries.
Yes.
Pooja, my pleasure. And thanks for inviting me. And guys, if anybody wants internships or jobs or looking to make a career in digital marketing, we do take on board interns. We also take on professionals who want to start their career in digital marketing. So they can drop in their CV to hr@nmgtechnologies.com, and my HR team will be in touch with you.
Wonderful. I am writing this here in the chat window.
Yeah, so HR@NMG Technologies. So if anybody is looking for digital marketing internship or jobs, they can send their CVs, and we would love to, because we are constantly hiring people in our digital marketing team.
Wonderful. That's all the more exciting. Now everybody will start working on their resume, and they're going to share it with you.
Yeah, they can work on their resumes, but more than that, I want them to think about these things, because these are a lot of evergreen marketing strategies which will help in life, and I've given it from my personal experience. This is not like some case study or something which I have not practiced it myself, right? So thank you, Pooja, for your
Thank you
time
so
and inviting
much.
me. Yeah.
And thank you so much, people, for watching us. And we are joining you back with another session on industrial design technology. Now, as Mr. Maheshwari was talking about creation or designing, we have Mr. Vineet Raj Kapoor joining us at 3 p.m. for design thinking and solving problems workshop at 3 p.m. today. So go have your lunch, take some rest, and join us back at vidyadaan.net and on our YouTube channel. Till then, take care. See you soon. Bye bye.